Okay. The package. So bring up your assignment. So basically, I've given you a package called Boat World. One of the things going on in there right away. Under the scripts, there's an input data input puller. You probably have one in your scene already, so just get rid of these. All right, Boat World. All right, so let's take a look. So it looks like the boat itself is okay. So let's go to the materials. So water is, it's going to be a universal rendered pipeline. It's going to be lit. Opaque. That should be transparent. Seafloor. Again, we just got to go universal rep pipeline lit. Oh, that was. What's going on? Water. Why is this not? What's going on? Okay, these sail icons, again, this is just. This is going to be lit. This is the base map. There we go. That looks better. Why is it not showing up? What the heck? Transparent. There we go. Okay. The icon. There we go. Okay. go with that for right now. Essentially, basically, the simulation that you got here is basically you run it. Go to the scene view. Now here's the boat. The boat itself consists of a couple different things. Like here's its collision, boat route. So basically, there's a period. So here it's boating, how high you can go up and down. So heavier bouncing. Again, I'm going to point this back here. There is a lean on here. So if you wanted to go 1, -1, if you want to go how much that lean is. So how much of the percent is that lean? So if you wanted to go and lean the boat, control how the boat is bobbing, here's the boat model itself. It looks like all the materials came in perfectly fine for the most part. So we go to the boat right here. We have a boat rotation script and a boat move control script. So these are the two scripts. So boat rotation, this is basically, we press play, go back to the scene view. You can see that it's following along the mouse location, and that you can see that sail icon is basically putting where it is going to be. So script, I think, yeah, as long as the direct magnitude is greater than 0. So if it's pointing in the same direction, it's not going to apply a forward direction. Point towards screen to world instance. So there's a screen to world script. Where did I do this? There's a couple, again, utilities. There's a lot of utility scripts in here. So basically it's taking, basically it's getting get screen point. So basically it's getting, if you're using mouse, using touch screen. I'll come over this one sec. I mean, basically the big thing is that with, if you're using the touch screen, using touch screen as your device. And then the touches, why am I using var? It's giving me an array. But here's touches. If it's greater than 0, then I'm looking at what is the result is basically my touch screen position got so where is it on the screen. And that's the first thing that we have to do with, hey, code given to you. The focus here is basically you're going to use the touch screen, and you're going to use it in a particular way. So, and then basically it's just basically updating the world location. So it returns back the screen point, get screen point, and it basically casts the world location. So if we go look at under boat again, scripts, the follow point, basically game object transfer positions equal to screen to world instance got world location. So it's basically going to that class, which is a singleton, and getting where did they place, put their finger on the screen. So far so good with what I've been showing you. All right. Really, the work that you need, let's go back to the boat. The work that you're going to do is going to be the boat move control. What's up? Material. Yeah, they're not. They are standard rendering materials. The built-in material. They're not universal render pipeline. So that's ignore the materials right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's like 5 minutes of play to get those right. So just ignore them for right now. Know that, do that when you get to the lab session itself. So follow along. This is really, I need you guys to really pay attention to what I'm about to do right now. So let's edit the script. All right. I have given you so we got to talk about this. This is using touch phase, Unity input system, touch phase. What I've given you here is an alias. It's an alias to get access to the touch phase class that you need to use. The problem that you are facing is that this touch phase class exists in the input manager and in the input system at the same time. And Unity gets confused which one you want. I'm going to remove this for one moment. And literally it's going to be on update. Let me just, did I give the boat? I did give the boat a rigid body. So okay, so we do want a rigid body RB. RB is equal to, oh, not that get component game. Yeah, be specific. Get component of the rigid body. All right. So this is where things are going to get interesting really quickly. So we are going to get screen screen.current. Sorry, it's going to be, oh, I just had it. Screen the world, here we go. Touch screen, there we go. There we go. Okay, so screen is not equal to null. Hooray. So the issue that we've got is what we want is screen touches. We can also use primary touch here, which we got this touch control. So it'd be, so if we let's use touches. So it's going to give you something that you want to use, touch control. ITSE dot. So one of the things is position, start position, where the touch actually started. But we want to get at its phase. And this is where things are going to get. T phase if, so we can say, hey, if TC phase is equal to touch phase began. And it's going to start yelling about it. So let me clean this up. And it's like, touch phase is an ambient reference between Unity Engine input system and Unity Engine touch phase. Like I said, it is confused between the version that's in the input manager and the one that's in the input system. This is where we start using an alias. So I've got all touch phase capital letters going to refer to Unity Engine input system touch phase. And I can now go down here and paste that in right here. Come on. Oh, it's a phase. So we need to do read value because it's a control. Okay, so what do we do? So again, let's take a look at that touch phase. Let me grab this. So this is, again, the big one. This is an array of controls. So we have to use read value on it to get the value that we want. And then we have to look at what are the phases. And it basically is none. Canceled. So canceled basically refers to, do they have? Yeah, they're not saying down here. Okay, so basically the thing that you're dealing with is, did it begin? Did it end? Has it moved? Has it stationary? Stationary moved, you probably are going to handle the same way. Cancel is basically like, I got a phone call. And so the UI canceled whatever I was doing, that touch screen, that touch on the screen. That's kind of what canceled is, like the UI did something. And so, but the idea here is that, hey, let me see, just looking at, yeah, it's moving the pointer already. So, what's the best way to go about? For our purposes, we're going to use what we are going to do is we're going to set a rigid body velocity based on the direction that we're moving on. I guess I can use, we'll do a vector 3. Actually, it'll be a vector 2. Vector 2 start. So let's go here. Begin, start position, we'll say is equal to TC dot position dot read value, because again, it's a control. So I think one thing that we could do, again, let me start with an end. Ended. I mean, this is setting up a swipe type scenario. I'm wondering if I just want to go and screen the world to get the position. I think I do. And that's one of the things we do. Screen world instance world location. That's the position. So that's the, and we want to subtract our game object transform dot position. Spell. So this is going to be equal to vector 3 vector. There you go. I was missing it. Let's do a let's do a public float sales speed. We'll set that to 3. So this is our origin body dot linear velocity. It's going to be equal to our direction vector dot normalized times the sail speed. Yeah, I think this might be. So when we actually, let's do this. This is when we stop. Let's do this when we start. I mean, if we can go in if TC. Actually, let's just grab this. And if it moved, if it's stationary, then we're not going to worry about this. But if we moved, then we're basically going to change the direction of. So basically, when we start and when we move the finger around on that touch, we'll set the direction of what we're going. Take out end. I don't need to worry about it when we ended. So this is not a very there's a lot of code here given to you already. But the idea here is that you are going in and getting the current touches, and you're going in and then using that to set the direction. Again, the big thing that's complicating thing is that touch phases in both the input manager and the input system, and so we end up using this alias. This is what it's called to basically make our lives easier to determine which one we want to use. There's a few reasons. This is why alias exist. And this is like the one few cases. Again, I wouldn't be teaching this unless I absolutely had to. So let's put my phone in. Let's deploy this now. So they have you open. Okay, so save file. Here's the build profiles. Take you out, and then I can build and run. Boat world. That's pretty much what the assignment's going to be tonight. It is pretty straightforward. Something on my phone previously. Huh. So it's working. It's just, it's slow, and when I let go of my finger, it's stopping. It's setting the velocity to 0. I wonder why. What's going on? Let me see. Let's make sure. Here's the boat bob. Main control, not good. Rotation. All objects. Move the pointer. Spin the world. Wonder why. That's interesting. We can, let's crank that up higher. So save. And so after this build, I think I'm going to stop the recording here.